This is for the fellow believers of Christ. Did you know that a few, if not many, of the holidays that we celebrate now have pagan origins and practices? Let me get some chapstick. I need some chapstick. Pardon-moi. Okay, I'm back. Excuse the intrusion. Okay. Okay, so a little disclaimer. I'm learning with a lot of people about God and the truth, so if I say anything wrong, please correct me. I might say some things that won't align with what certain people want to hear, and I understand that, but I don't know what to say to that. That's life, and it's gonna be okay. And the thing to look out for this video, the definitions that I talk about that I got from Google, some of them will not be the same as the definitions that I put up on the screen, but it means pretty much the same thing. A little bit of background context to what pagan means. Pagan is an individual or group that pretty much worships multiple gods or follows a religion outside of Judaism or Christianity. And the Bible verse that kind of pushed this topic, which is the pagan holidays, is Colossians 2, chapter 2, verse 8 through 9. And excuse my pronunciation. If I pronounce anything wrong, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm going to read this Bible verse. I think it's New International Version or NLT. And it says, "See to it that no one takes you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition and the elemental spiritual forces of this world rather than on Christ. For in Christ all the things of deity." I said that totally wrong. It's okay. I'm going to retake it. Let's redo it. "See to it that no one takes you captive through hollow and deceptive philosophy, which depends on human tradition and the elemental spiritual forces of this world rather than on Christ." I know I am reading fast. I apologize for that as well. I'll read slower. "For in Christ all the fullness of the deity lives in bodily form. And in Christ you have been brought to fullness." I just read 10 just to conclude that sentence, but the rest of the verse just talks about how you're circumcised through Jesus Christ and his sacrifice. But that verse really stuck out to me because it talked about, it had big words. It had hollow and deceptive philosophy. It had elemental spiritual forces. And I was like, what does all of this stuff mean? Like, what? And so I Googled it, and then I came to find out that I Googled what human traditions were, and I found some things that had to be said and spoken about. So the definition of philosophy. Philosophy encompasses a wide range of ideas, theories, and personal beliefs that shape our understanding of existence, knowledge, and ethics. And the definition of the elemental spiritual forces is pretty much just earth, wind, fire, water. And another description says something totally different. This is what it says. "In biblical theology, elemental spiritual forces refers to the deceptive philosophical, religious, and societal principles that keep people enslaved to human traditions, superstition, and legalistic practices rather than to Christ." So a summary for me of that verse, it just talks about be aware of people who use hollow, like pointless philosophy that depends on human tradition of the world rather than on God. So it just distracts you from God. So that's my summary. And Google's summary says, "It warns against being deceived by philosophies and empty deceit that contradicts the truth of Christ. Be vigilant." And some examples of human tradition, some things that aren't really in God's like ball range. I think you get what I mean. Some popular human-made traditions that I Googled are Christmas, Yule, Halloween, Easter, and New Year's Day. And there's more.
though I mainly focus on Christmas, Halloween, and Easter.
And I chose the popular ones for a reason. They all have pagan origins and practices. And the information that I'm about to say now is from www.history.co.uk, and the title is The 6 Pagan Festivals We Still Celebrate. And again, pagan means it's a group of individuals group that celebrate, worship more than one god,
etc.
And we're gonna start with Christmas / Yule, because that's my favorite holiday. The Anglo-Saxons, excuse my pronunciation if I pronounce it wrong, but the Anglo-Saxons and Celtic population of Britain celebrated the pagan festival of Yule that observed the shortest day of the year. Typically included lighting the Yule log in the family hearth / fireplace / gathering place. Catch this. Decorating the home with winter greenery like the mistletoe, holly, ivy, and gift giving. How fun is that? It's just like what we do for Christmas. I know you've seen them Christmas romance movies. My mom definitely seen them, and she made me watch a few of them, and she kind of got me hooked on it. I used to be against it, but now I'm like, this is corny, but I like it. But some of the Christmas movies out there's gotta be a scene. If not, then that's okay. But you have to have seen a scene where there was a mistletoe hanging above 2 people and they just happen to kiss. It has to happen. And if it doesn't, then that's okay. But I know you've seen movies like that. For people who celebrate Christmas, I know you decorated for Christmas. I know you sat on Santa Claus' lap. I know you gave gifts, even if it's something small. I know you've tried your hardest to give someone you love a gift. So there are a few things that the pagans celebrated that we do now. The next one is Halloween. Many Halloween traditions can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm pronouncing that right, then that is awesome. But we're about to Google it and see.
Samhain.
I was close. Samhain. Many Halloween traditions can be traced back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. Ancient Celtics believed that on Samhain, the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest, allowing otherworldly creatures and dark spirits to break through into the world of the living. They would burn fires to burn away the darkness, leave offerings for food and treats to satisfy the spirits, and would dress up as animals to confuse the fae folk that might try to cause them ill will, etc. Fae folk is fairies. Fae folk is fairies.
And in some other sources, they can also be elves, trolls, or some mythological being.
For some of the youth out there on TikTok, I bet you heard that song that goes like, she was a fairy, yop, she was a fairy, she was a fae folk, yop. So yeah, fae folk is pretty much fairies for them. Okay, the next one is Easter. Easter was adopted as a celebration of the resurrection of Jesus by Christianity around 300 AD, but it has pagan origin, named for the Anglo-Saxon goddess
Ishtar, or also pronounced as Ushra.
What does that sound like? Easter. It sounds like Easter. So, actually, no, that also sounds like Biska, Muska, Mauska. Anywho, Easter was the time of year when pagans would say bye-bye to late nights of cold and darkness, and hello to brighter days and longer days.
Easter
was often symbolized by a hare, bunny, rabbit, and hot cross buns that were baked in her honor. The cross symbolized the equal balance of the 4 seasons: summer, spring, fall, winter. And some more background information. The Anglo-Saxons their name must have stuck out to you, given they pretty much influenced many of these holidays we celebrate now. Well, the ones I said, at least. The Anglo-Saxons worshipped a pantheon of gods and goddesses, and pantheon meaning all the gods of a people or religion collectively. And I hope you know that gods and goddesses, the G is not capitalized. We're going to get into that a little bit later. Like Woden, the god of wisdom, Thuner, I think I'm pronouncing that right, the god of thunder. The Greeks won't be too happy about that. And Tu, the war god, and
Ustra,
the goddess of springtime and rebirth. I think there's more. Now, God, with a capital G, doesn't like adultery.
Excuse my French. I mean idolatry. Like idolatry. Sorry.
Worshipping other gods is one of the 10 commandments. You shall not commit adultery. I mean, no, not adultery. I do not worship other gods. Adultery, idolatry, I think I might be pronouncing idolatry wrong. Cause I could, anywho. And you see that God is capital, but gods aren't. Because God, lowercase God, is used when referring to a deity in general, a false god, a generic member of a pantheon, such as the gods of ancient Greece, or he looks like a Greek god. All lowercase.
Which that singles out who the true God is and who the false gods are, just by the capital, for any religion.
False god. I mean, Google said it, not me. So a summary of everything that I just said. A few, like I said before, a few, if not many of the holidays and celebrations that we celebrate now, they have pagan origins and practices. And a few of the ones we said, were Christian ones. What does that tell you? There's some things to question. Like, why is Christmas considered a Christian holiday and you celebrate Jesus' birth when it has a pagan origin, it has pagan practices, and pagans worship multiple gods?
Or they just don't believe in them.
And God doesn't like when you do that. So it's not making sense. It's not adding up. No, it's not adding up. I'm just saying what the research is telling me, what the Bible is telling me. Just a reflection. With all of this information, what do you do with it? Do you run with it? Do you take it and run with it? Or do you take it and put it back down? Because it's easy to take it and put it back down. I mean, I was about to do that. My mom and I, we were planning to do a Halloween party this year. And to make that a tradition, but now I don't know what to do. Because God said you don't like idolatry, worshiping other gods, and these have practices of that. Actually, I do know what to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pray on it. I'm going to see what God says, and I'm going to act according to that, or I'm going to do nothing. God tells me to do nothing, then I'm going to do nothing. But the question of the day, night, or afternoon is, what do you guys think about this information? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to take it and run with it, or are you going to take it and drop it back down?
I personally like Christmas. With the love you share, the company you have, and the feelings you get. And I like Halloween with the fun, with hanging out with friends, the creativity of making costumes and decorating. As a young person, I would like your opinion. Is it bad to like Christmas, Halloween, or even Easter when it has pagan origins and practices? What do you think?
So thank you so much for listening to Mariah Speaks. I thank you for watching for this long. Brings a tear to my eye. Oh my gosh, you're so awesome. I will see you guys later. Deuces.